But I just want to talk on that point about One Nation. Clearly the surge there, it's rattling the coalition. But if you have a look at the latest news poll, numbers suggest that preference flows could still keep Pauline Hanson's party from actually converting this hype into seats, with Labor being the main beneficiary there. Cameron, what does this mean for One Nation, I guess, if they want to try and convert this popularity into actual votes?
Well, I think they get Senate quotas. I mean, Holly will know that, and I think you and I have discussed this. They'll do really well in the Senate from those numbers. So it doesn't matter about preferences. But in the lower house, it depends how concentrated that vote is. And in my home state of Queensland, I think in some of those electorates, their vote will be high enough, like the Greens are in other states, to get some seats potentially if they keep it at that level. And let's not forget that Labor's voters are losing to One Nation as well. So there's a churn going on here. It's not showing up in news poll, but Labor voters are shifting to One Nation as well as Liberal voters who are going to Labor in the current circumstance. So One Nation will do really well in the Senate. That's guaranteed on these numbers, and potentially pick up a handful of lower house seats in some probably more likely Conservative voting electorates.
Yeah, so what's your read on that then? How would that work? Because if it's going to flow into Labor, then that's a problem.
Well, look, I mean, the problem is that both Labor and the Coalition over the years have been determined to put One Nation last. But I think what we're seeing there's a change in the electorate of where their preferences are going, where their votes are going, and we're seeing it with what's happened with the Teal movement. We've seen what's going on in some of the seats where you've got independents in that are hanging on for decades. So, look, I think we're going to see a lot of changes. I think we're going to be it's going to be really interesting to see what happens at some of the state elections that don't have compulsory preferential voting. But I think One Nation will do well in the Senate. I think it'll do well in the Senate across the country, which could give them the balance of power, which in a lot of ways is as effective because you can be so, you really can drive through a serious agenda if you hold the balance in the Senate. But they will have to run lower house candidates because that's how you
true.
man the booths to even get the how to vote Senate cards in people's hands.
Yeah, well, look, it's going to be interesting. And as I said, it's about they're riding this great wave of popularity right now. Let's see if it can actually convert to votes. Now, we've got to talk about the Weather Bureau. Remember when the Bureau of Meteorology spent $100 million of your money on that dreadful, bungled website rebuild? Well, we've now learned there's been another $1.15 million, again, of your money spent just trying to tweak it. Cameron, they're just not getting it right, are they?
No, it's a shocker, and I'm a Queenslander, and we used to rely on BOM, especially during summer. Like, we're a cyclone state. We all knew how to read it. We knew where the thunderstorms are coming from. The old system was just fine. And then we have this awful thing no one can understand. It's disastrous. And then to find out $100 million later. Oh, look, completely awful, completely awful.
It's a shocker, isn't it? We're almost out of time, Holly, but I mean, you
just dreadful. It's just dreadful. It's not even a good sight. I mean, we had our show on the weekend and we had a band playing at the pub, so we were desperately looking where the rain was. Yeah. And, my husband said, we'll check the BOM. I'm like, why? That's as good as looking out the window and sticking the finger up. I mean, honestly.
We've all become amateur meteorologists because of it. We may as well just use our own instincts.
If we were as wrong as meteorologists and still got paid, well,
we'd be pretty lucky. No, I totally agree. Cameron Milner, Holly Hughes, great to have you both on. Thank you so much for joining me on the program.